Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. And today I just want to answer a question and show you guys some Invicta watches. Now, I've done videos like this in the past, and I'm going to be trying to do more of them in the not so distant future. But I wanted to come back and kind of, fire back with some Invicta videos because it's been a little while. So, what I want to talk about today is just kind of answering a question that I get asked quite a bit. And it's, what is your favorite Invicta watch? Which one should I get? Which one should I start off with? Well, here's the thing. This journey with Invicta watches, or watches in general, started off mainly with the Venom watch. And as time went on, I purchased different models, and there's always an Invicta watch that I want to get. Now, I'm not really into, Invicta's doing a lot with the DC comic stuff, and I think it's awesome because that's a huge, people love that kind of stuff. I mean, they love Batman and well, all those, I don't know much about it, but all those different characters, and I think they're cool. I love those movies. But for me, I tend to like to wear a watch that's just basically, I don't find the attraction with the DC comic stuff just because I'm not into it. I mean, it's just, now if they made like, I love cars, so if they made like a Jaguar version or something like that, then maybe, maybe I would have something like that. But I tend to like to keep watches, just mainly, I just think it's a little bit more. And some of you may disagree. I like just a certain class level when it comes to wearing a watch. I think that, the comics and stuff like that, like I said, I'm just not into it. There are lots of people who are into like Batman, and I think that's great, and that's a great market for Invicta because those themed watches, I mean, they sell. People love them. But for me, I'm just more of the simple kind of style Invicta. And so, although there are tons of different watches out there Invicta makes, not every one do I want to own in my collection. Some of them I'm not really a big fan of, It just depends. A certain watch, whether it be an Invicta, a Sterling, an Aragon, it has to kind of speak to me. And that's when people are like, oh, well, some of the trolls or knuckleheads out there who are like, oh, once you have an Omega or a Rolex, I'll never want any of those watches because, one, I can't rationalize the price for something like that. And it's not about whether I can afford it or not. I mean, guys, I got 140 watches. If I want to have like what you'd consider a high-end watch, I would go have one. I have more enjoyment wearing my Invictas, my Aragons, my Sterlings, even my diesel watch. I'm more into the way a watch looks, its design, its features, than just the name. For me, it's not. One guy, I've been having a conversation with him the other day, and he was just talking about how the Omega is just, you could feel the different. That buy what you like is the point. So this is my favorite Invicta model. Is where I was going with that. Okay, this is the one I like, the one that speaks to me. I'm not saying it's the best watch in the world. I'm not saying it's the best value Invicta makes, or I'm saying this is my favorite Invicta watch. If I had to choose only one watch ever to ever own ever again, if somebody said you're only allowed to wear one watch for the rest of your life, one model, this would be it. This is the Grand Arsenal or Grand Octane. The first time I saw this watch, I knew I had to have it, which is why I have 8 of them, and I will have more down the road. They even made a Hulk one, believe it or not. I had the green on it. I was kind of like, man, that's because it had green, but it didn't like have him on it, But I was like, it's still cool. So anyway, let's take a look at what I got here. All right, so once again, I will put links to each and every one of these watches in the description. I'll try to put links for eBay and Amazon, so there's going to be a lot of links in there. So if you prefer to buy on eBay or Amazon, please use those links to help support the channel. And also, I mean, that's where you get the best deal. Some folks are like, oh, I never buy on eBay. eBay's not what it was anymore. eBay is now all sellers, reputable sellers. So don't worry about that. And you always have recourse. Be a smart shopper. Check the feedback. Go with that, okay? So here we go. The Grand Arsenal. 8 of my favorite watches in my collection, and I'm going to go ahead and show you each and every one of them on the wrist right now. So starting off, in no special order, folks. Let me put this up a little higher here. Hopefully that's a little better. Okay, in no specific order, starting off with the all-silver version. Grand Arsenal. Or again, you can find this as Grand Octane. Again, depending on who's selling it, it is the same watch. You go ahead and throw that on the wrist. Just huge. Just a big, chunky watch. I love this watch. And again, I'm not going to speak out the model numbers. I'll put each model number in the description with a link. All right, moving on to the next in no specific order. This next one here is a Jason Taylor edition. It's the only Jason Taylor edition I have in the collection. It's a little bit different than anything else I would normally buy because it's, you know, I don't get a lot of black watches, but this is done in the blue, of course, and the black. Jason Taylor edition. And the price was right on it, so I was like, you know, let me go ahead and pick that up. And this one, again, I even get a lot of compliments on this because not everybody likes gold, you know what I mean? Some people just like subtle, you know, just, it's different, it's, you know, everybody likes something different, but this is a nice subtle, I mean, if you can call that watch subtle. And the deal I got it for at the time, I couldn't pass it up. Like I said, you guys, you got to strike when the iron's hot. You see a watch and, you know, maybe you're like, you know, I wasn't really looking to buy one now. Trust me, when you pick it up, you know, for certain, sometimes you can get, I mean, exceptional deals. All these watches in here I paid anywhere from like, I think minimum like $250 all the way up to $400. So it really depends. They're really the same watch. It just depends on when you get it and where you get it. And how many are available at the time. So this next one here, done in the all yellow tone, mirror polished, and silver. This is one of the first Grand Arsenals I had got in my collection. Just awesome with that black face. Silver and gold, you really can't go wrong there. Now again, this watch is one of the biggest ones Invicta makes. The biggest one Invicta makes, just because of the thickness of the watch, is your Sea Hunter 3. This is your, I would say, the second largest watch Invicta makes. If you're looking for big, this is definitely one to get. And you get kind of desensitized. Like this does actually dwarf all the other Invicta watches, really. Well, again, with the exception of the Sea Hunter 3. That one there is the same diameter, but much thicker. Beautiful. All right, moving on to the next one here. This one here was actually a gift from my ex-girlfriend. One of my favorite ones, really. It's awesome. Not only is it sentimental, you know, which, yeah, we're not gonna go there. But anyway, again, a watch I said I always wanted an all black watch. This one's all black, mirror polished, and what I love about it, you know, black watches, when I've always said this in a lot of my videos, the black watches, you know, in order for it to still look big, black is very slimming. Like I actually had an excursion, I returned it because it just looked like every other watch. There's nothing to really make it pop. This watch here, all mirror polished black, and then you have this beautiful abalone face, which, I mean, it just stands out. It's like the highlight of this watch is that abalone. Abalone exhibition case back. This is the first abalone watch I got, and really to this day, this is one of my favorite, I would say top 5 Invicta watches in my collection, or top 5 watches in my collection. Again, not just because it's sentimental, but for the fact that it's just such a beautiful timepiece. I mean, it's just really unique. I've never seen anything like it, and this watch just pops. I'm going to wear this one today, actually. I mean, just awesome. I mean, this watch blows me away every time I pull it out of the box, which is weird because you guys know I love gold, and this one here, in some cases, I like this more. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Invicta should do more like this, which is having a very specific face. Imagine what this watch would look like if it was done with all black and then black diamond bezel, black diamond face. I mean, or spinel or whatever you call it, spinal. I mean, it would be, Invicta needs to do more like that. I mean, beautiful, beautiful watch. This next one was also a gift from the same girl. Again, you know, we're not going there. But anyway, this one here is done in a two-tone silver and black. She always really liked anything black. As she would say, it's not a color, it's a shade. So, you know, kind of got me a little bit more into the black, and she got me this one here as well. And I love the two-tone. Again, it really makes the silver pop on this. Mirror polishing black down the center. Just awesome. I wore this one yesterday, and you know, sometimes you forget you have these things in your safe, and just another stunning watch. I mean, and that's why I love this watch so much. It's like every color combination just looks different. I mean, look at that thing. Very high-tech looking. All right. And then moving on, of course, we'll go with the, I think this is the second, again, one of my favorites as well, the gold on gold. You guys have heard me talk about gold on gold forever. Rose tone and yellow tone gold. Very hard to find this color combination in any watch. Luckily, Invicta has made a few, and I've picked them up. I'm so glad I got this watch. This one is a very difficult one to get. And you never know, depending on popularity, they never, you know, They may come back and make them. They may not come back and make them. Just really depends. This one is just, I mean, bling, bling, bling. Awesome looking. And again, this may not be for you, but as long as you guys keep your comments clean, keep your comments nice, you know, I'm telling you firsthand. I mean, I have a lot of watches. You know, I have Aquadive, I have Visser, I have a lot of, you know, more expensive watches, Alexander watches. They're all beautiful. But I can tell you, quality across the board is all the same. I mean, really, it really depends on you getting what you like, what kind of status you want to have. And let's face it, a watch a lot of times really comes down to status. When you have a watch on your wrist, a lot of people are willing to pay more to have something that when people ask them, what kind of watch is that? You know, oh, this is a Rolex. Oh, this is an Omega. Oh, this is a Bulova. This is whatever. You know, it says something about the person's, you know, what perceivable wealth, I should say. Because let's face it, a Rolex is within anybody's grasp. It really is. I mean, if you want it bad enough, you'll finance it and get it. I mean, plain and simple. So another one here. This one's done in the baby blue mother of pearl. It's hard to tell by the video. That's a baby blue mother of pearl face. Very light baby blue. And of course, you have that silver bezel with the rose tone and silver. Great color combination as well. Really stands out. And I forgot to mention, too, that Jason Taylor one I showed you actually technically has a black mother of pearl face. It's the only negative thing I have to say about that particular watch because black mother of pearl looks awesome. And this watch, the mother of pearl is such a bad piece that I got. And again, it depends on, you know, that particular cut. It's nothing Invicta did. It's nothing about the quality. It just depends on that particular piece that I got. Like I have an Aragon one with black mother of pearl. It's night and day difference. This one here, just it's a boring mother of pearl. You can't even tell. The color shift in it is so slight, it doesn't have a lot of pizzazz to it. So it just really looks like a matte black face, which is the only disappointing fact about that. This, you look at it in person, you can tell it's mother of pearl. I mean, it pops. All right, and last but not least, this one is probably the most over-the-top color combination of any watch that I have. And this one's done, and I don't have a lot of these. I have the Sea Hunter 3 in this as well. This is going to be your iridium or iridescent finish. And I'm not sure if they heat treat this or what, but this one's done also in more of a purplish abalone as opposed to the other one, which had a little bit more of a greenish kind of tint to it. This thing just, I mean, is just in your face, pops. This is not for everybody. This watch is straight noticeable. It's just very, very different, very, very unique. And this does take a certain kind of person to wear something like this. But it's absolutely beautiful. All mirror polished, iridescent finish. The color shift on this thing is absolutely beautiful. It goes from like a gold to purple to like an aqua, and then I mean then you get that abalone, which is just crazy, and it's mirror polished. God, I kind of want to wear this one today too, but we'll see. We'll see what I feel like wearing. Absolutely stunning. Now, the only thing I have to say about the iridium, or I'm calling it iridium, or iridescent is what they call it, these things to size are a real pain. Every one that I've had, and I have, you know, I don't have many, I have 2 of them. Again, I thought I was going to break the watch trying to size it. So I do recommend you might want to take this if you're not comfortable to a jeweler. I use a jeweler's pin and a jeweler's hammer to size my watches. I've had no problem doing that with any watch I've ever had except for this particular finish. And I don't know if it's because when they heat, if they treat this with heat to get it to do this, if the links are already put together, but it is something Invicta should correct because it is a pain to get the pins out. And I mean, really, you almost have to destroy a couple of the pins to get them out. I mean, I grabbed it with a vice grip to pull it out. So it is one negative thing I have to say about this particular finish, but once you size it, you're good to go, and you don't have to worry about it again. Unless you're going to sell it at one point, and then have to put those links back in. But luckily, I don't do that. So, all right, guys. Well, that's the video on my top, or my favorite Invicta watch in my collection, the Invicta Grand Arsenal, or Octane. Again, depending on where you get it from. Absolutely a stunning watch. If you love Invicta watches and you haven't picked up one of these, get one. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. Right now, there are some deals out there on these that are exceptional. Ones like I've never seen before. I mean, and again, remember, if you guys like the way the watch looks and you're like, gosh, that's way too big for me, they do make it, again, it depends on the color combination. You may not find the color you want, but they do make it in a 48mm. And right now, they're doing a lot of that DC Comics stuff in the 48mm version. There was a pretty cool, I mean, again, not me, but they had a Batman one. They had this awesome, I think it was a Superman one, which was all gold with the Superman logo kind of floating. It was like one of the ghost watches where the movement's actually floating. I forget, Ghost Bridge I think it was, and that's floating. You can see right through the glass. Then you have your accents around the bezel here are actually done in red. Really nice looking watch. I always like gold and red in a color combination, but check that out. I'll put links to all these in the description. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to comment. I get back to people like nonstop. I'm checking my comments, I mean, at least 20 times a day. So it's a passion for me. I love talking to you guys. I love putting up videos. I love sharing this stuff. And I just love watches. So guys, thanks so much for your support and subscribing to the channel. If you do like the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Please click the bell. That's the only way you get notified when I upload a new video. If you, like I said, otherwise you're just a subscriber and you have to go in there and go to the channel and look, see if I put up any new videos. And guys, I'm always putting up new videos. I probably put up anywhere from 5 to 10 a month. So stay in the know. You know, I'm always getting new stuff to review with you guys. And what else? Again, if you want to make the purchase, again, I always say get it from the place you're going to get the best deal, feel most comfortable purchasing. If that's through my links, I do appreciate it. It does help to support the channel. And guys, as always, have a wonderful weekend, folks. Take care.